WWE is known for rewriting its own history, and sometimes straight up erasing it. When everything you do is based on storylines, you can control the narrative forever, until real life refuses to play along. From deaths exploited for ratings to accidents that forced entire angles to vanish overnight, these are the storylines WWE either cancelled immediately or erased from history after disaster struck. It's June 11th, 2007. The night ends with Vince McMahon walking through the backstage parking lot. He slowly steps into his classic white limousine, closes the door, and a massive explosion rips through the TV screen. For one brief moment, WWE killed off the boss himself live on Monday Night Raw while the camera keeps rolling. This was planned to be their most ambitious storyline in years, a whodunit power struggle for control of WWE. In the works, Mr. Kennedy would be revealed as Vince McMahon's illegitimate son, inheriting the company and embarking on a year-long reign of villainy. WrestleMania 24 was meant to climax with Kennedy's coronation or downfall. Even WWE's stock price actually dipped for a brief moment, and wrestling's most elaborate work was actually working.
We make movies.
Until June 24, 2007, when Chris Benoit happened. He was found dead with his wife Nancy and son Daniel. At first, it was reported as a tragedy, only later confirmed to be a double murder. The limelight shifted. WWE immediately cancelled the Memorial Raw episode planned for McMahon's death, and instead turned it into a Benoit tribute show. 24 hours later, the news broke.
Authorities in Georgia say it was no accident.
Chris Benoit strangled his wife and smothered their 7-year-old son.
WWE panicked. The McMahon death angle was not just paused, it was erased. Mr. Kennedy's push as the chosen son derailed. Instead, wrestling fans got
That illegitimate child is someone on this roster.
Hornswoggle
as Vince's secret child in a legendary swerve that defined awkward WWE comedy. The storyline wasn't just cancelled, it became WWE's biggest what if, killed stone dead by the darkest event in wrestling history, Muhammad Hassan's terrorist angle. Every once in a while, WWE chases topical and runs headfirst off a cliff. Muhammad Hassan was proof. Introduced in 2004, Hassan was an Arab-American heel fed up with post-9/11 discrimination. But subtlety doesn't last long in wrestling. By 2005, he was surrounded by manager Daivari, preaching about persecution but taking it to further and further into cartoonish extremism.
I wasn't even finished!
On July 4th, 2005, SmackDown taped a segment where The Undertaker destroyed Daivari. Hassan prayed on the ramp, summoning 5 masked men in ski masks. They choked out Undertaker using piano wire and carried Daivari off like a martyr, all as Hassan praised Allah. Unfortunately, the tape aired July 7th, 2005, the very same day suicide bombers killed 52 people in London. The imagery of masked terrorists attacking a beloved character infuriated fans, media, and WWE's TV partners. UPN and Sky demanded Hassan be erased. Sponsors threatened to walk out. WWE initially tried to defend artistic freedom, but the heat, real heat, was nuclear. Hassan was supposed to beat The Undertaker for a world title shot. Instead, he was written out forever at the Great American Bash. Mark Copani, aka Hassan, was released. The character became wrestling's most radioactive angle. WWE to this day refuses to acknowledge the storyline at all. Eddiesploitation, the death of Eddie Guerrero. November 13, 2005. Eddie Guerrero is found dead in his hotel room. The world instantly mourns. WWE, they mourned, and then they saw dollar signs. At first, the tributes felt genuine, but within weeks, Eddie's spirit became an angle. Rey Mysterio started dedicating matches to Eddie, heartfelt, heartbreaking even. But then WWE made it an obsession. Randy Orton, feuding with Rey, dropped this promo.
Eddie ain't in heaven, Eddie's down there, in hell!
Just 3 months after his death, a real-life friend says Eddie Guerrero is burning in hell for cheap heat. The backlash was instant and severe. Even Mick Foley, a loyal company man, wrote, "By exploiting his death, we achieved what I thought wouldn't be possible. We cheapened his life." But WWE didn't stop. Chavo and Vicky Guerrero Eddie's wife and nephew, both got TV time tied directly to his memory. Ray's title run was rebranded for Eddie. The Eddiesploitation was so tasteless it won the Wrestling Observer's Booker Award for Worst Storyline of the Year. Randy Orton has apologized, so have others. Eddie Guerrero stuck with WWE, but even she's described mixed feelings about how it was spun. WWE finally moved on, but for a year, Eddie's death wasn't just mourned, it was milked. Number 5. Hawk's angle. Animal and Hawk, the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, were among the toughest men alive. One of them, Hawk, was sadly also an addict. In the late 90s, WWE decided real-life demons made for TV gold. The angle started with Hawk botching tag matches, showing up drunk and embarrassing his team. On screen, Droz was introduced as Animal's backup, a wedge driven between old friends. By November 1998, things went off the rails. Hawk climbed the Titantron, threatening to jump, and end it all. Droz climbs up and pushes him off the Tron.
God almighty!
Basically, he didn't jump himself, but was trying to commit on Monday Night Raw. The storyline got worse. Droz turned heel, revealed as the man supplying Hawk with booze, just to take his spot. The implication was that Droz literally pushed Hawk to his death. Animal and Hawk were furious. They walked out, and WWE quietly ditched the angle. Mike Hawk Hegstrand died 5 years later of a heart attack, after years of battling addiction. The 1998 storyline remains one of the Attitude Era's cruelest works, exploiting a man's pain as a running joke. Even Vince Russo, yes, even him, has admitted it was one of his most regrettable narratives. Big Boss Man feeds Al Snow his dog. Boss Man just couldn't catch a break when it came to questionable segments. He kidnapped Al Snow's pet chihuahua, Pepper, and tricked Snow into meeting him at a hotel room for a meal to settle their differences. In one of the worst segments in Raw history, Bossman revealed that the mystery meat Snow had just eaten was in fact his own dog.
That's right, Al. 100% grade A pepper. No.
All this, of course, culminated in the infamous Kennel from Hell match at Unforgiven 1999, which is widely considered one of the worst matches ever produced. The ring was surrounded by a steel cage and a Hell in a Cell structure, with vicious Rottweilers patrolling the ringside floor. However, the logistics were a total disaster. Al Snow has since slammed the company for their lack of preparation, revealing that they simply hired untrained dogs from a local clinic instead of stunt animals. Instead of attacking the wrestlers, the dogs spent entire match urinating, defecating, and fornicating at ringside. The animals were so useless that the production crew couldn't even show them on camera for the majority of the match. The Droz incident. On October 5, 1999, during a SmackDown taping, a freak accident permanently altered the life of Darren Droz Drosto. Droz was a rising star known as Puke for his ability to vomit on command, but his career ended in an instant during a match against D'Lo Brown. When Brown went for his signature running powerbomb, multiple factors went wrong. Droz was wearing a loose-fitting shirt that prevented Brown from getting a firm grip, and Droz was unable to get a proper jump to aid in the lift. Droz landed directly on his head, fracturing 2 vertebrae in his neck and instantly becoming paralyzed. The footage of the actual accident has never been shown to the public, as WWE technicians edited it out of the broadcast, though clips of him being dragged out on a stretcher have appeared in the "Don't try this at home" PSAs. The injury deeply traumatized D'Lo Brown, who spent years dealing with intense guilt and nearly retired from the business altogether. Until his death in 2023, Droz remained a part of the WWE family as a writer and a columnist, famously refusing to blame Brown for the accident and stating simply that shit happens, and that every wrestler knows the risks of the ring. Number 1. Owen Hart's death. The death of Owen Hart on May 23, 1999 remains one of the darkest days in wrestling history. At the time performing as the comedic superhero, the Blue Blazer, Owen was set to be lowered from the rafters of the Kemper Arena. To achieve a quick release effect for the cameras, WWE bypassed experienced riggers who had warned that the stunt wasn't safe. Instead, they used a $10 sailboat snap shackle designed to release under load, which had no safety redundancy at all. The clip failed while Owen was 78 feet in the air, causing him to fall chest first onto the top rope in front of a live audience. The decision to continue the pay-per-view while Owen's blood was still on the mat is cited as the most controversial choice Vince McMahon ever made. For decades, Owen's widow, Martha Hart, has been a fierce critic of the company, holding them directly responsible for what she calls pure negligence, driven by a desire to cut costs. She successfully sued WWE for $18 million, and to this day, she refuses to have anything to do with the company. Martha has rejected all offers to induct Owen into the WWE Hall of Fame, stating she will never allow them to profit from his memory when they were the ones responsible for his death. While Bret Hart eventually reconciled with WWE, Martha has maintained her distance, choosing instead to honor Owen's legacy through her own foundation and a partnership with AEW. All this goes to show, wrestling keeps pushing the envelope, sometimes too far. Subscribe for more deep dives into the weirdest, wildest, and sometimes most shameful moments in history.